Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with the boy. Now, we love Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is probably one of the greatest personalities we have on TV. He's done a great job on his show and everything. Doing what he's done. You got to give respect where respect is due. But the only problem we have with Shannon is his excessive stick riding of LeBrownies. I mean, that's the only thing. And then he wants to condemn KD playing on a super team when it was like, dude, you played on a team with the Broncos that had Rod Smith. You had Tom Jackson on defense, Steve Atwater. You had you had talent all over the place. Ed McCaffrey, Terrell Davis came and pushed all over the hump. Now when you went to Baltimore, that offense wasn't that good, but you still had a running game in Jamal Lewis. You had a defense that probably was the greatest defense or one of the greatest defenses ever assembled, ran by Mike Singletary. Well, it was not Mike Singletary. It was ran on the defensive coordinator. Excuse me, was Marvin Lewis, and you had Mike Singletary there as the linebacker coach. But Shannon Sharpe talks big and bad and stuff, and his numbers, basically. Let's see. Shannon Sharpe was he was a good tight end. Great hard worker and everything. Did his job. He was an 8-time Pro Bowler. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's a 4-time All Pro, 3-time Super Bowl champ. 815 receptions. 10,000 yards. 10,060 yards. 12.3 yards. After the catch, he averaged his TD. He had 62 touchdowns and everything. He had a great career. Um, he put up numbers. He got better at blocking over the years. You know. Now let's look at the thing is Shannon Sharpe a top five tight end? To me, he was good at what he did receiving, but there's guys you could put over him. You could put Antonio Gates over him. You can put Dallas Clark over him. You can put Gonzalez. Kellen Winslow Senior probably was better than all of them. You could put, you know, you could argue Jay Novacek was up there with him because Jay Novacek used to catch some big catches. You can also argue Eric Johnson for the tight end. I mean, for the Niners. It's been plenty of tight ends, but the thing about Shannon Sharpe and everything that we get tired of is just the just the infatuation of LeBrownies and how he doesn't get any blame. And to me, that makes you kind of turned off a lot of times when you watch the show. It's like, man, you know, and then he wants to talk bad and everything, about players like dissing him because of like a comment KD said talking about that's ignorant and that, and he feel like he calling him ignorant, and at times Shannon can be ignorant to me. And to me at times Shannon sometimes lets things go to his head where he feel he could just say whatever, especially when he talked about Randy Moss. That's when I just kind of fell out with him. Like, you're attacking Randy Moss, and then for you and T.O. to do that coon move y'all did, talking about, oh, well, Randy Moss shouldn't have been on the first ballot. I'm like, dude, are you serious? You never transcended the game. You didn't transcend the game like Antonio Gates or Tony Gonzalez or Kellen Winslow Sr., part of Air Coryell. You never did that, Shannon. You were a great hard worker. You were a great guy who made something out of nothing. You were a very hard worker. You outworked everybody. I can't take that from you. You outworked everybody. You did your job as far as that. But a lot of times you go overboard with the criticism of Kevin Durant. You in the media. Now, I'm not going to put you on the level of Stephen A. Smith because to me, Stephen A. Smith is just, he's basically tired now. Nobody really cares about what Stephen has to say. But with you, for you to talk about Randy Moss like you did, that really showed me something. And then for you to basically say he didn't deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, that still irks me today. Randy Moss is arguably the best receiver ever, or you would put Jerry Rice over him. Wherever you guys have it, I got Jerry 2, and I got Moss. Well, Jerry's number 3 on my list. I got Randy and Sterling Sharpe over Jerry Rice. But like I said, that's what I feel. You could feel differently. There's no argument if you got Jerry Rice number 1. To me, the problem is that it's too many times we have a lot of these players who think that they were greater than what they were. And it kind of turns you off from everything. Like, for example, you have guys like Kenny Smith, for example. Kenny Smith sometimes they try to make Chuck dumb or something, like he don't know what he's talking about. When it's like, how doesn't he know what he's talking about? You've never been a superstar. Like, especially guys on teams that won championships, they have no business talking. You rode in the back seat. You were in the trunk. And Shannon, for all he did do, you never really carried the Broncos. You had John Elway for most of your career. Randy Moss had Randall Cunningham when he was done, Brad Johnson, who really was an average QB, Jeff George, who we know what happened to him. He basically was he basically imploded by always attacking his teammates and always going off about something stupid. Then he had Andrew Walter at quarterback. Then he went to Tom Brady. Then after that, he went to I believe Kaepernick it was. No, he went to then he was traded from there to the Titans, I believe, and then he went to the Vikings. Played with Favre, who was about done at that point. So John Elway, you had that, and not only that, look at the teams that Moss played on. Moss made everybody better. You never made anybody better, Shannon. You didn't. You didn't make anybody better. You were great as far as you're taking the pressure off the team by your antics, talking junk all the time. I give you that. But I just don't think you were a top 5 tight end. You weren't. You were a hard worker. You did what you had to do, but you weren't on the levels of like a Gronkowski or hell, even Zach Ertz. I don't even think you were better than Zach Ertz. That's just to me like you were a good player. You deserve to be in the Hall of Fame because you got your Super Bowls. You did what you had to do. But I just think people sometimes forget how great other tight ends were. Tony Gonzalez played on a Chiefs team that was nowhere near the level your Broncos team was. And y'all defense was Way better. You had Neil Smith, you had Atwater, I think you had Bill Romanowski. Yeah, you had Bill Romanowski on defense. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not taking none from Shannon. I don't want everybody to come to the video thinking, oh, I'm trying to tear Shannon down. No, Shannon was a great player to watch and what he did. But to me, Shannon, sometimes he gets overly credit with stuff because you guys didn't do nothing until TD balled out. Tony Gonzalez never played with a running back that was that caliber of TD. He didn't play with a quarterback that caliber of Elway. And nobody, please don't tell me Matt Ryan, that was at the end of his career. No, Matt Ryan is nowhere near Elway's level. It's not even close. And for you to say things like that about Moss and then for you to come on TV bragging about this and that like you were the guy, you weren't. Rod Smith was better than you. McCaffrey took pressure off of you. So that's what I'm saying. And then y'all had a great offensive line to protect Elway. So to me, it's like there's a difference between ranking you. Like, Terrell Owens has this problem as well. That's why I tell people Terrell Owens was great at what he did, but he's not a top five receiver. I don't even take him over Marvin Harrison. I know Marvin Harrison shot somebody allegedly, but I don't think he was on that level. But T.O. was great for what he did. The things he did, like the hard worker he was, that's great. But I just never seen them transcend the sport where everyone's trying to tell me, oh man, Shannon did this and that. And it's like, it's cool. And then, also the thing also about Shannon is this. Look, I know you're a fan of LeBron. That's fine, but dog, why do you guys tear down another player? I've never understood this. Y'all mad at Kevin Durant for what he did, but it's okay for LeBron to go play with a superstar, then bring in another superstar on his team. Then for him to go back to Cleveland, they had to bring another superstar there, which was Kevin Love. They brought him in and he basically diminished Kevin Love's career. Kevin Love turned into a basket case dealing with LeBron James. Every day, getting blamed, getting yelled at, told he can't do this. Same with Kyrie. That's why Kyrie left. Now everybody hate Kyrie. And then Kyrie was right about what he said about the social justice. They tried to say, oh, he just did that because he wasn't allowed to come to Orlando. Well, whatever the case is, he spoke up. But Shannon Sharpe and them have been destroying him talking about Boston. And I tell people, Kyrie didn't choose to go to Boston. Okay? Listen, Kyrie wanted to go to New York or two other teams. I can't think of the two other teams. Okay? So, and then people asking this dumb question. Oh, is Kimba's better than Kyrie? No, Kimba is a better fit than Kyrie. But as far as a baller, he is not on Kyrie's level. Kimba is good at what he does. He's good at what he does. He fits better with the pieces. And then like the NBA, they keep over glorifying, showing pictures of Enos Canner and all. Enos Canner's a bum. Can we stop showing this guy on TV? just let him be what he is. But I know I'm all over the place. But Shannon Sharpe continues to throw shots at people and gets mad when they tell the truth. Like Paul Pierce told the truth that LeBrownies isn't in his top five. Shannon Sharpe got mad. When Shannon Sharpe watched The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, he went off on Michael like, man, Horace Grant would have did. If I was there, I'd have did this. Man, you wouldn't have did it to Michael Jordan. Michael would have slapped you in the mouth and said, do something. You would have been off the team next day smoking. He wasn't going to do nothing. Horace Grant was soft as baby it, and he's still soft as baby it. Him and Pippen was soft. Michael had to get at them guys like that. Because you see now why. They were mentally weak. They were mentally weak. They needed Michael to score all those points. They needed Mike to handle his business and to get better and to continue to get them to go up. And then all this saying that he loves to use his argument. What was Michael Jordan when Pippen ain't get there? What was Michael Jordan? What was Pippen? Michael Jordan was going to the playoffs before Pippen. Then he wants to use his argument about, well, Michael lost to the Bull. I mean, he lost to the Celtics. So you're gonna compare the Golden State Warriors to that Boston Celtics team. If that Boston Celtics team played the Golden State Warriors, they would destroy them easy. They would destroy them easy. There is no comparison to that team. These teams today could not play against those teams. If those teams played today with the way the rules are, they would blow the Warriors out great because all they would do is play defense because they know how to shut you down. They know how to push you off the 3-point line. That's all these teams do. Now, Golden State love to move the ball, but still, who was going to contain Kevin McHale? They could have stopped They could have stopped Draymond. Dennis Johnson could have took him. Bird could have took him. They'd have took Draymond out the game. They'd have mentally made Draymond frustrated where he would have cursed them out and got thrown out the game. Robert Parrish, the chief. Robert Parrish would have out-rebounded them. That team that the Celtics had that played Michael Jordan didn't have a team that could beat them. And Michael Jordan came back from an injury and still got that team into the playoffs, which is very, very good, which is very great to accomplish, especially as a rookie. So all this stuff you're talking about, oh well, LeBron did this, LeBron did that. What has LeBron really win against? Who has LeBron really win? Who has been his rival? Like who has really made LeBron, like who has been scared of LeBron? Who wants to be like LeBron? I've watched every game and kids, nobody plays like him because you know why? He's not great. Nobody wants to play like that. Where you dominate the ball all game and you pass making everybody a standstill shooter. Then you looking to blame somebody. He plays like he has played since his first year coming into the league. The only thing I would give LeBron that he's gotten better at is the ability to shoot the three. He can shoot that better, but when he's pressured, he's going to miss it. And that's just simple facts. And then also you're saying this about you also say this. You're trying to say Dame Lillard was basically, you were saying that they were going to push the Lakers to 6. I said it just like Skip. I said in 5. I knew they would lose 1 and then they would win the rest of the way. Like Skip said, that team is not on the level to do anything to the Lakers. And then once the refs got involved, it was over with for the Blazers. But you love to say, oh, this guy here went against a team like the Warriors. But if you're the best player in the league and you got a superstar type talent next to you in Kevin Love, you constructed that team to go against Golden State and you lost, but yet you give him a pass. You give him a pass on everything. It's not even funny how much you give a pass to this guy. And then you got all these other content creators and all these idiots on Facebook and Instagram talking about how great he is. And I ask him, if he's so great, why is his record 3-6? And he had the teams to win. It's the truth. The Warriors won because they knew if they added Kevin Durant, they knew it could happen. They knew it could happen. They knew Kevin Durant would be the X factor. But yet you guys call it a weak move because he went to. Who cares? This nobody put in the rule book that you can't go to the team that beats you. Like, what's wrong with that? You guys are gonna get mad at Darrelle Revis. Let's talk about Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis went to the Patriots. He was a New York Jet. Why isn't he blasted? Man, that's football. No, it's the same thing. He went to a team that beat him all the time. Why y'all not hating on him? Why y'all didn't blast Terrell Owens when he went from not Terrell Owens, but oh man, what's that guy's name? Yeah, why y'all didn't blast Neil Smith when he went to the Chiefs? I mean to the Broncos. He played on the Chiefs. They were getting beat by the Broncos all the time. In basketball, why y'all didn't get mad at Chuck when he went to the Rockets? Huh? Why y'all didn't get mad at that? I didn't see you guys running and talking about, oh man, that was a weak move. You guys ain't say nothing like that. Why did Gary Payton go to the Lakers? Lakers used to beat him all the time when he was in the West. Why did he go there? That was a weak move. Why y'all didn't call that out? Now y'all trying to talk about teams back in the day had super teams just to make it okay for what LeBron did. For him creating this era that we're in. And this isn't a LeBron bash video. It's not. It's a being honest video. Shannon Sharpe is just like the rest of the cronies, Chris Broussard and who's the other guy? Who's the other guy? Oh yeah, Nick Wrong. Him too. You guys make it the reason why nobody likes LeBron. And then you guys have to tear down Michael Jordan just to make him great. I'm not a fan of Michael, so I'll be like, cool, you could talk bad about him, but don't act like Michael want that dude. Don't act like Michael wasn't gonna go out there and drop 30 on your head or 40 or 50 on your head. Like don't act like that. You know, and sometimes I believe Shannon Sharpe forgets a lot of times. He forgets a lot of times about his place, that you were a role guy, dog. You were a role player. If this was like basketball talk, you was a role player. You were a solid starter, solid tight end. But you weren't the best or in that class, dog. You just wasn't. And for you to talk about players and destroy them to make this guy the greatest ever, it's mind boggling to me. How is he the greatest ever when this guy's game can't translate to any era? This era was made for him to play in. They had to make the rules softer. They had to move positions out the way to make him great. They destroyed the power forward position. They destroyed the center position. Now you got all these now you got all these guards that are actually 7 feet guys playing, trying to win and trying to bring the ball up all the time. You know, you made it positionless. When guys back in the day had different skill sets, guys were different. Guys could dribble with the left and the right. They could finish with the left and the right. Now you made this league into specialists. Like this guy's good at defense, so that's all he's good for. This guy here is only good for shooting. And it's just disrespectful to the game how trash has been. The game has been real terrible and it's been lacking, and to me it's messed up because you keep promoting this old guy. You got to let him go. And to people out there, don't ever say Anthony Davis is one of the best power forwards. He hasn't done anything. How are you going to compare Anthony Davis to the power forwards before him when he doesn't play like that? He plays more front his face to the basket. He can't play with his back to the basket like KG, Chris Webber, even Dirk, even Karl Malone. And then Shannon, what happened last year when LeBron, you guys love to use the excuse that he was hurt. When he came back, they were in seventh place. They had a chance to still make the playoffs, and you guys still use that as an excuse, saying, oh man, no, they didn't have enough time. Like, yes, they did. I watched the whole season. The team won a couple games without him. They lost more than they won. He came back in ample enough time to get them into the playoffs. Then he came out and said, I'm finna go into playoff mode. Are you serious? You're supposed to play like it's the playoffs every night. That's the difference between Kobe, Michael against him. That's the difference between Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, and them. They played every night like it was playoff mode. Magic Johnson, don't ever compare him, Shannon, to no damn Magic. Talking about he's like Magic. He ain't nothing like them guys. The disrespect that has been put on Magic, Bird, and Michael Jordan's name is terrible. It's terrible. And then not only that, this what pissed me off too is you trying to tell everybody that Luka Doncic is the next Bird. Luka is a baller. But can Luka actually play first? Like, let's see how his career comes out for us to say that. Now, has he performed spectacular in his playoffs? Yeah, he's been great. Luka is fine. But what comes with being white and you could ball is the overglorification of a player. Michael Jordan fans were the same way. They overglorified Michael. It was like Michael's great, but dog, there was guys before him that were just as good, if not better. He wasn't no best, and y'all doing the same thing with Bron, and y'all doing the same thing with Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic cannot compare to Bird. First of all, Bird can score much better and easier than Luka, and he had a better post game than Luka. He could pass better than Luka, and he could defend better than Luka. He wasn't the greatest defender, but he could defend off the ball, especially he could rim protect when it was time to rim protect because he was 6'10". So don't tell me that this guy is the next Larry Bird. No, he is the next Luka Doncic. Y'all did the same thing to Kobe Bryant. Y'all tore Kobe down and y'all hated Kobe. Oh, he's like Jordan. But with Luka, it's okay to say he's the next Larry Bird. So why y'all don't tear him down when y'all compare him to Larry Bird? Huh? Why you don't do that? So again, I made this too long, but Shannon Sharpe, I have basically basically are telling you that your overglorification of these players is downright disrespectful to the old. And you've been disrespectful, especially to Michael Jordan, who has who basically had a way better career than you had in NFL. You're not the greatest tight end. You're not in the top five, man. So stop walking around here acting like you carried the Broncos when you didn't. Now, the Ravens, I give you that. You carried their offense. But as far as that team, the defense was carrying y'all. So you went from a great quarterback and running back to a great defense. What did you really contribute? Yeah, you caught a big catch and you did that run, but other than that, you ain't really do nothing that whole season. You didn't. So for you to act like you just the greatest is funny to me. It's real funny. But thank you for listening. That's just my rant and everything. Just wanted to get stuff off my chest about Shannon Sharpe. This is not destroying Sharpe. Sharpe is great at his job and he's great at what he did in football. But it's sometimes Shannon Sharpe goes overboard and sometimes he doesn't know what he's talking about. He over exaggerates stuff or he makes stuff seem like it's something when it's not. And the way he treated Kevin Durant and all these guys is very disrespectful. I don't like the way he's painted KD or painted a lot of guys in the media. But hey, that's his opinion. But I give you mine. But I just don't like the comparisons of Luka to Bird yet. I think that's being disrespectful to Bird. Let me know in the comment section. Do you feel Shannon Sharpe is a top 5 tight end? If so, explain why. Please don't be disrespectful. If you're disrespectful, I will block you. And like, comment, share, subscribe to the page, and hit the notification bell to receive upcoming news. Get notified of upcoming content. And if you want to donate to the page, my Cash App is Harry, Harry, the number 2 after it. Again, it's Harry, Harry, and the number 2. So thank you for listening, and we out. Live boy.